Hello, ladies and gents. Today's talk is going to be centered around the appropriate way of dealing with critics and haters, which we're all going to come into contact with at some point in our life, but especially for us who have any shred of ambition. Because, as we all know, the vast majority of people are incredibly pessimistic of your chances to successfully manifest your dreams into reality. But I know, as well as you do, that giving up purely based on that is not an option, that you must be successful in your pursuits. And our starting point for this today is a extract from Fussböck Zarathustra, which was written by a German philosopher called Friedrich Nietzsche, who I've spoken about in a previous video, who is my favourite philosopher. And with that, let's dive into this and work our way through it. Because as always with Friedrich Nietzsche, there's a lot to digest. My brother, have you ever known the word contempt? And the anguish of your justice in being just to those who despise you. You compel many to change their opinion about you. They hold that very much against you. You approach them and yet went on past them. That they will never forgive you. You go above and beyond them. But the higher you climb, the smaller you appear to the eye of envy. And he who flies is hated most of all. So the first part is relatively self-explanatory. He's saying that firstly, the appropriate way of dealing with people that despise you is to be just to them, because they are your fellow human beings. They are of the same family of you. And just as the family member that you may have and dislike, you at family gatherings are still civil to and will hopefully at least try to provide them with advice when they may be dealing with a particular issue or trauma. Regardless of your opinion of them, you are willing to set aside your differences to help them as they are a family member. Nietzsche is saying that we need to apply that to a wider range, to all of humanity. But in doing that, you are naturally going to feel contempt and anguish at the fact that you are treating people who are so bad towards you with justice and goodness. And that disparity between the way that you treat them and the way they treat you causes you resentment. But it is easy to be virtuous in a world that is purely of goodness. True virtue comes from conflict with malevolence and people who despise you. It is those encounters where you have a true chance to prove that you are a good person. Being good to people who are good is easy, but being good to someone that you would consider bad is difficult and a feat to achieve. Moving on. You compel many to change their opinion about you. They hold that very much against you. You approach them and yet went on past them. That they will never forgive you. Now, by being just to those who are unjust to you, there is a possibility that you may change their opinion of you. Because regardless of how much hate they spit at you, you continue to treat them as a fellow human being that is a part of your family, and with love and kindness, seeking to only want the best for them. And it is hard for someone to maintain hatred for someone if that person is continually persisting in treating them with goodness and kindness. This bit I personally really like is the you approached them and yet went on past them. So by treating them with virtue, which doesn't necessarily mean that you are always treating them with kindness, because sometimes kindness is not the tool that is needed to progress someone closer to whatever their dream may be or the means that they wish for fulfillment. But that is how you approach them. You approach them through appearing to be good towards them, regardless of how much hatred they spout at you. Yet went on past them. So that comes from a sort of dissociation or a detachment from them. So regardless of how much hatred they keep on throwing at you, you persist with your kindness because simply their hatred does not faze you. In fact, you probably expect it from them. And that's how you go on straight past them. Because regardless of what they say to you, your character, the way that you treat them, remains the same. They do not get that response from you that would validate their opinion of you, that you are in fact a bad person. You go above and beyond them. So again, this is just reiterating that by being just to those who are unjust to you, you are proving your own virtue of character. Because again, being virtuous to people that are good is an easy thing to do. It's not a test. Being just to those who are unjust, now that is a test of character. The higher you climb, the smaller you appear to the eye of envy. So this is a funny one. So the more and more you progress towards your goals and becoming the person that you want to be, the smaller they will see you as. So Nietzsche's actually saying the closer you are to attaining your goals, the more pathetic your haters will think you are. So with all your virtue and that, they will look at you as if you are mud on the bottom of their shoe. And that you should expect them to be like that. And he who flies is hated most of all. So people are pessimistic of those who have ambition because they don't see that same possibility in themselves because they've never really seriously contemplated whether it is possible or not. But seeing someone proving that success and ambition can be achieved is a reminder to them of what they are currently not doing. It's a reminder to them that they are betraying themselves. They are betraying their dreams by believing that no such thing is ever possible. But right in front of their eyes, they see you achieving your ambitions. That is a reminder to them of how they betray themselves. And that's very painful for them to bear, which again is where a lot of their resentment and hatred will stem from. And this is another reason why you shouldn't be hateful towards them, that you should still approach them, because you recognize that their hatred towards you is just a projection, just a distraction from their own betrayal and the pain that they've caused by betraying themselves. So the main key takeaways from that is it's a test to treat those who are unjust justly, and to do so proves to you your strength of character and will to be great and to manifest greatness within yourself, and that you should treat all people, even those that hate you and despise you, or criticize you, or judge you, as if they were of your own family. And lastly, that as you progress towards your ideal and your dreams, people's opinions of you will probably worsen, because their need to put you down becomes greater, because it has to offset the current evidence of what you have done to move towards your dreams. I think that's a good point to end this. I hope that has helped you to be a little bit more accommodating of those who are quick to judge, criticize, belittle, and hate, and that you have also learnt that a lot of those emotions are a consequence of their own internal struggles, and as they are our fellow human beings, we should also seek to want the best for them and to help them as much as we can resolve those internal struggles within themselves, so that they may too, like you, strive for their dreams and achieve them and make them a reality.